Blog Talk Radio.
The physical world is nothing more than the spiritual principles in motion.
You're now listening to Practical Spirituality with your host, Oasis, and co-host, Glammy Witch.
If it's not practical, it's not spiritual.
Don't we feel the same when we hear a baby laugh? Smell a rose from a beloved, or walk in the rain? We are all made of the same magic called life. Let us step together into a new earth.
All right. I hope everybody can hear me. Last two times I was talking for like 5 minutes and no one heard a thing. Welcome to Practical Spirituality, and as you hear by the laughter, we have a secret guest with us. We have the Gratitude Goddess back with me and Glammy as we talk about twin flames and soulmates and love and all that other good stuff for this holiday season. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I want to introduce again my co-host Glammy. Well, actually the other host. She's been upgraded from a co-host. Actually, the other host Glammy.
Oh, yay! I graduated.
Yeah, I can no longer call you.
I've upgraded.
Yeah, you do just about as much, if not more work than me on this show. So we have Glammy over there. So Glammy, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. My anniversary is tomorrow, 28 years.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yes, and we also have, as I said before, as our secret guest that we was keeping a secret until now, the Gratitude Goddess, Miss Marianne of Akashic Inspirations. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm like so excited about. I just love our time together and what we share. So this is a great topic. You know, this is one of
yes,
mine and Debbie's favorites.
Yes. So
yeah,
thank you for asking me back.
Oh, you're more than welcome. There was no way we could do a show like this without having you on. This is like your total area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's get right into it, shall we, with creating your soulmate. Now, maybe I'm glad to speak a little more, but there's a difference between, obviously, soulmates and twin flames. So a soulmate can actually be customized to create to your liking, but a twin flame is already according to the energy you came here with, from what I understand. A soulmate deals with the word soul deals with your will and your energy, and your energy is your vibration, which changes all the time according to your needs at that moment or during that time. So according to your vibration will bring in the soulmate that you need. And you can always customize that by doing little tips and tricks here and there. One of the things you can do, of course, we all know is feng shui, but you know, feng shui always say it says create room or space for the thing that you want to come into your life. But you can also go a step further. You know, if you have a particular type of man in your life, you can, or a particular type of female in your life, you can create that space or customize that space specifically for them. So let's say you want a writer or something. What you would do is you would customize a writing space for them, and you would customize a library full of books and have pens and paper just for them. You know, you would make sure. You make sure you draw in the energy. You have to match the energy that you want. So let's say if you want someone taller than you. Well, any shelves that are over a certain height, you should clear that area so they have room to put stuff, because obviously if they're tall, they're not going to want to bend over. So there are a lot of different things you can do to create and customize your own soulmate. That's really not that hard. If you're a type of person who wants somebody, that's sensitive and, that caters to your needs, you have to match that and be willing to be catering to other people's needs. So that way that vibration will go out and it'll come back, and that's how you start customizing your own soulmate. But that's so funny, because that's exactly what I was gonna mention. A lot of my clients, the first thing I tell them is, are you ready? Like, is your place ready to receive somebody? Like, is there space for them? Like, because if you want them to be with you, you want them to feel comfortable in sharing your space with you. So if you've got the bed shoved against the wall, like, how do you expect the person to be able to, like, get in there in the first place? Do you have a nightstand available? Do you have, when you set things up, is it set up for two people? Or, is there clutter everywhere? It's only natural that you need to start with your space first. Make it inviting and romantic for you and for what you would create for a partner. So a lot of people say, oh, well, I've got the stuff piled in the corner. I haven't undone the boxes from my last move a year ago. And so that's absolutely one of the first things, and that is the easiest. And you get yourself in the mode of expecting to receive this person.
Right. And that makes a lot, because I remember it reminds me of something that, Marion had talked about a while ago, and it was like, you want to, if you want something, act like it's coming through the door soon. So if you expect that you want a job and you're going to have to transfer, and, you want a job out of state, then start packing. Start, act like you already got it, so that you're ready for when, that's how we manifest. And so I remember that was something that she had told me, and I found that so fascinating. So it's like, oh, okay, so, first of all, definitely, of course, creating your space, but then you also have to make sure that you are ready to are you ready to have a soulmate or a twin flame in your life? Like, you have to really give yourself an honest evaluation, right? And, if there's a lot of baggage from past relationships, you know what? You're not going to make it out the door. So you have to make sure that you clear all that clutter before you can get, it's like, what do you have to offer this perfect person that you want to come through your life, right? You want this perfect mate. And it's like, what do you have to offer? Like, you want this, and this, but do you have that, and that? Do you have those qualities that you want in somebody else? You want them, let's say that, you want them to be funny. Are you fun? Are you fun to be around? So you need to start, like, creating that in a way, like, saying, do I have those qualities and what I want from somebody else? And then the other thing is, if you're really there and you've done all the work, then act like he's coming through the door in 2 weeks. Clear that space, make it more romantic, move that energy. Start just kind of setting it up so that, oh, okay, I'm ready for when he comes through the door, and I'm going to manifest it, and I'm going to act like he's going to be here, and, and start telling, you can even start telling your family, it's like, yeah, I'm meeting someone. I'm meeting my special someone. Just kind of get that flow going.
Yeah, that's really important. How you speak is really important, because if you're like, oh, I never meet anyone, or no, I don't go to bars because, I'll never meet anybody there, or, I never meet anyone, nobody ever looks at me. That's all those type of negative, self-talk. It just shoves them even farther away from you. So you've got to start turning around and be aware of how you speak, because your word, as we well know, creates, and it's very powerful. Di is the expert on the word.
Yeah, so also, I'll consider myself an expert, but thank you. But also I wanted to add, when it comes to your words, you have to pay attention to the emotions you put behind your words. If you're saying, I'm ready for this energy to come in, but you're saying it from a negative emotion, as Marianne said, as you're saying it as you really don't believe it's going to happen, then you're not really putting that energy behind the words that you're speaking. So if you're not putting the energy behind the words that you're speaking, then obviously the actions are not going to follow for that person to come into your life. So, you want to do that, and you want to work on yourself first. Before you start calling other people into your life, you want to work on yourself first, like she said, to make sure you are ready, to make sure that you're in the right space, to make sure you truly want somebody long-term, short-term. Do you really want them to live in your house, or do you want separate homes? Right. Like, really never get a full vision in your mind exactly what you want, and then put that emotion behind it. And then from that, the actions will start to follow, and it will open up worlds. And also, get out there. Get out the house.
Yep.
I know it's hard when you come home from work and you're tired and you may have
so
children
true.
and
that
everything's
is so
going
true.
on. Yes, you have to get out the house. Online is okay and that's fine, but at some point you have to see that person, feel that person's energy. Get out the house. Go to different places. If you feel as though if you truly have that idea or that mindset that there's no men in your area, then that's the energy that you have put there. So that is the vibrations that go out. So switch the area that you normally go to. Go to different areas. If you always go to a library on Saturday, well, if you can't get to another library, go to the library on Monday or Tuesday. Switch that energy up. Therefore, you're not walking in the same vibration every day that's not getting you what you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to get out of your comfort zone. And I think that's really hard because a lot of my clients, I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing? Do you have a social life? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, so you think he's just going to come, they really just kind of think that it's just going to pop into your life. This person's going to pop into your life. And it's like, how is that possible if you don't go anywhere? And, you don't put yourself out there. And you do. I mean, it's definitely about taking a risk. And it's definitely about changing stuff up and shaking it up and getting to a place where, it's a little bit, a little bit out of my zone. But you know what? That's the only way that you're going to manifest what you want. And, I'm sorry, but I tell my clients all the time, so what do you think, Prince Charming is just going to come knocking on your door and go, I'm here? That's not the way that it works, So, and it's funny because
one good way of doing that is actually, doing what you really like, because you have a great chance of meeting someone who's going to like the same thing that you're doing, whether it's maybe you like volunteering, or maybe you like gardening. So go volunteer, I don't know, at a tropical garden or botanical gardens, or if you like music, then, go to festivals where the type of music that you like is playing. If you like cooking, maybe take like a cooking class, like learn how to cook Thai food or something else, something different.
Right.
You never know who you're going to. Yeah, exactly. Something fun that really, an art class, you like drawing, take art. Whatever it is that is your interest, then do that. Do that for yourself, because that shows your self-love, and it shows that you also are a person who is willing to get out there and
who's open
to take care of themselves, because we love people who are self-confident, who are, doing their thing, and that's how you synchronistically meet people, is because you're so into your thing, you attract by your vibration of joy in what you're doing and your passion, you're going to attract, guess what? Passion. Hello, that's how that's how it's done, to get out to do your passion. And while you're doing that, then the universe opens the door for you to have more passion in your life. And what better way to have passion in your life than to have a partner, to have a soulmate come in and to, be complementary to you. Twin flames and soulmates. I mean, soulmate is it's not like, I'm settling for something less than a twin flame. Soulmates can be absolutely beautiful relationships. because they are supportive,
exactly.
They are loving, you know.
Exactly. And for those who are listening, the call number is 347-989-8851. Again, 347-989-8851. Call. Don't forget to call in with your comments and questions. And later on, we will be doing a giveaway for a reading, for a love, relationship, 12-flame reading. Yes, we are. We'll let you know when that's about to come up. But I just want to add in that this is the perfect area, the perfect era, the perfect time frame to call in that energy, to customize that energy. And the reason why is because as we go into the Chinese New Year, as we already started in the Chinese New Year, this is the year of the sheep. And last year was the year of the horse, and the year of the horse was all about movement. But when most people thought it would be physical movement, it was more about mental movement, changing your mindset, working through those things you went through in the past, and clearing out all that mental clutter, all that spiritual clutter around you so that you can go into the area that you have. And this year is the area of the sheep. And with the area of the sheep is more so about groups. You know, if you think of the sheep never really runs alone. It's always with the pack. It's always with some type of herd. So this is the great time to get up and go out there and get in these new groups and find these new people. The energy is there for you to do so. Also, other than that, little tips and tricks that you can get into bringing, you know, just more overall prosperity and love in your house, because it's all about love. Love is all about will and energy. So bring that in your house. You know, there's different little tips and tricks that we can get into. One, you know, for anybody who don't know, I'm a big fish lover, and bringing more areas of water in your home, whether it just be a bowl of water that you change every week that just has pretty crystals and stuff in like that, or an actual fish bowl where you bring in things like goldfish. Water is currency. Water is where we get the word currency from the word current. It's the other way around. Currency and current comes from the word water, comes from the current, and that all deals with just the flow of energy, the flow of life. Our bodies is mostly water. So just changing up that flow and getting that energy moved around and getting that still energy out and making sure that your home is not so dry and still, and bringing more elements of water. Don't necessarily have to be water, but just elements of water that remind you of water, seashells or anything that reminds you of water. Bring that into your home. Make your home open. You know, open your windows sometimes. Let the fresh air in. Things like that. Do y'all have any other suggestions?
It's also nice to have like a little fountain too. I mean, you could just buy these little fountains at the drugstore. You know, I mean, just put it on your desktop even. You know, I mean, you could just hear the water flowing is calming and soothing, and it creates a sense of harmony. And you know, it could be pictures of you by the seaside. You know, it could be pictures of beautiful waterfall, you know, something that denotes the movement of the water, and that's the flow of emotions as well. So I'm all about the water. You know me, I love water. I love my ocean. Which is not a bad idea for cleansing, by the way, but that's another story. But I know, Debbie, that you were talking, we were talking a little bit off air, a little bit about crystals. And so, you know, a lot of our followers are really love their crystals.
They're into their crystals.
You know, you've got that rose quartz flame crystal that you're showing
girl.
me.
Oh my gosh, I love that flame. I am like obsessed with it. I bought this flame, a rose quartz flame. I don't know, it's about 4 or 5 inches in Arizona. I got a great deal on it. And it is so beautiful. Like, I still look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I own that. And working with those energies are just really amazing. And then I also bought Larimar. Now, Larimar is a little bit on the expensive side, but it's absolutely beautiful. It brings in the Atlantis and Lemuria and those energies. And then they have a soulmate quartz, which is a double-headed quartz. And it's 2 quartzes that are side by side. And it's just the 2 pieces. And those are more, you know, those are a little bit tricky to find too. But these are great, you know, stones to work with to bring in your twin flames.
Nice.
And
for those of you who don't know, you can go ahead.
I was just going to say, you can also, you know, just put them in strategic places like in your bedroom or in your living room, or, places where you converse, near your phone even, if you can have a locket, or pendant and wear the rose quartz, that's even better, because that imbues it with your energy, and it just acts, it augments your energies, and what you're radiating outward.
And we were talking about, that there's these amazing meditations on YouTube. So you can take these crystals and, place them in a grid, or you can hold them as you do these meditations. And you were saying, I didn't even know. We love Lisa Beachy on YouTube. And I think her channel is Moms from Meditation.
It's Meditations for Moms. And she has a twin flame meditation. It's about 10 minutes, but it's amazing. I've done it for I think it's about a year and a half, 2 years old. But I remember when I first started on YouTube, and that was one of the first ones I saw. And it was actually the first one I did from her was the Metatron meditation. She just has so many to connect with your angels.
A meditation for everything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can meditate with Shamuel, who is an angel of love, and he has, it depends. Sometimes you see the angels are androgynous, but sometimes you could say he or she. And she has this beautiful pink unconditional love aura about it, and you could just call in Shamuel and ask them to help you to put you in the right place, to guide you where you need to be. So use your guides, use your angels, and ask them for help. That's what they're there for.
Exactly. Some other stones that we can actually use that most people don't realize is spirit quartz. Spirit quartz obviously is all about spirit. It's all about, their higher self. So you can actually use spirit quartz to call in the higher self of somebody else in order to bring in their physical self into your presence. I actually have a fishbowl with 2 fish in it, and inside that fishbowl is spirit quartz. And, I have that fishbowl for other reasons, but you can do the same thing, because water amplifies the energy. So you can do the same thing. You can just put crystals in a bowl of water, or you can just put crystals on top of a picture of water. Other things, fluorite. Most people think you can use fluorite to call in love, but fluorite is one of those things that block certain energies. Like if you put fluoride by a computer, it helps to block some of the radiation from the computer. So you can also use fluoride to block what you don't want from coming to you. You can use fluoride to help get rid of the negative energy that's attached to you. That way, as you're defining and creating, customizing your soulmate or calling in your twin flame, you know that you're in the right space and the right mind frame for when they come. Speaking of cleansing out, one of my favorite stones is smoky quartz. I love using smoky quartz, especially with my clients for healing. I always want to get smoky quartz because, one, they're easy to get, and easy to get them online. And what you do is you just hold them in your hand, and all that, whatever it is you're going from the past, whatever it is you went through from that day, you hold it in your hand. You just put all that energy into those stones, and you'll actually feel it getting warm. And to the extent, depending on how much negative energy you build up, you will see the stone turn the color and getting darker. And from that point, you could just bless that energy. Say I no longer need to carry you. I thank you for being here and showing me, the negativity in myself that I need to change. I no longer need you, and you can either throw the stone away, or you can go ahead and cleanse the stone and use it again. I always keep smoky quartz around to help keep cleansing the area of any little funky vibes that may be going on. So that's another stone. Right off the top of my head. Of course, why didn't I think of this stone first? Shiva Lingam. That's
the Mac Daddy right there.
Yes, that is the perfect stone if you're working with stones to call in that love energy. To call it's more of a fertility stone, but of course, in order to produce anything, both of y'all have to be there. So it's a great stone to work with if you're working with Tantra. For those who already have their loves with them, that's a perfect stone to work with when you're working with the energy of Tantra and raising your energy and getting into that space. Those are the stones I can think of right off the bat. Himalayan salt candle holders. If you get a Himalayan salt candle holder, you can put a lighted tea light in it, and that just cleanses the ions in your room from positive to negative. And when working with irons and you want the negative, not the positive. It's just don't get stuck on the word negative. But when cleansing air, you want that negative ion in the air, and that house cleanses and energizes the home. And that house, it's so many things. It's another store thinking of. I can't think of the name right now. That also is great for working when you're calling in that energy. Now, when you're working on your own energy and trying to build up your energy, to love yourself and get out there, Sunstone is a great one. Sunstone is a great one to get you moving and shaking and get you out there with other people because it gives you energy. On top of that, the tree. I'm a quartz girl. I love all things quartz. So the tree also will give you energy to get you out there. But I would use Sunstone over the tree only because the tree will make you a little bit too hyper. That might scare other people around you. When you're trying to be out there and you're trying to walk and talk with people, Moonstone is great. Moonstone is great for getting your emotions in alignment and fully engulfing that feminine energy, so that you could be the divine person you need to be to call who you need to call into your life. Do any of you ladies have other suggestions? Well,
I was just going to say, I love that you're saying calling. Yeah, I love that you're saying calling in, right? Because one of the books that I used to use with my clients, and Marion knows this, is called
Calling in the One.
It's called Calling in the One. And I highly, highly recommend this. And what I just found out is that she has a free online course to go with the book. The book is super cheap. I think I paid like $9 for the book, and it just has these amazing things that you can do to kind of work on yourself and just make you aware, and it really gets you ready for, you think that the book means calling in your soulmate, but it's really calling in yourself, your own personal twin flame, your own personal journey so that you can be available to have an amazing relationship with. And I'm telling you, you do just a couple of the some of it's journaling, some of it's meditation. It's really never the same. Each chapter is different, and you just get amazing results. Most people don't even finish it like that. They just get to that space so quick. I mean, she just cuts it right to the core. And I didn't get to see what the free online course is like that goes with it, but I'm sure, that it's got to be pretty good because the book itself is pretty amazing. And so, I mean, I'm telling you, it's worth it for $8. I mean, you just can't go wrong. And I really, really like that. And then the other thing, too, is that there's an invocation by Elizabeth Prophet. She's an amazing person. I mean, she just is super spiritual. And she has this beautiful twin flame invocation that you can do to call in your flame. And what a lot of people don't realize is that even if you don't know who your flame is, you can work with your twin flame's energy until they come into your life.
Yes, you can.
And you can really do some amazing energy work with just your twin flame's energy and calling and just invoking it and calling it in. And there's somebody, Elizabeth E.G. Crowley 74 on YouTube has a great video on soulmates, and she has the actual invocation that Elizabeth Prophet actually created, and it's really powerful.
Okay, now we have a question from the chat room. They want to know, is there any oils that we could suggest to wear to attract your soulmate? I know I have a few. Do anyone of y'all ladies want to go first, or y'all want me to go ahead and go ahead?
I think it's more or less kind of like what your personal tastes are. What you can use some of these oils. Of course, rose oil, but if you get the Egyptian rose oil, oh man, I just love the way it's so rich and so beautiful. I have one that I bought years ago, and it's still just so delicious. I love jasmine, and it's a jasmine rose oil. So I put that in the water that I clean my floor with.
Yeah.
So when I clean my house, I pray in every room. So I pray that my home is, a loving, unconditional love space. So I set my space by cleaning my floors with just a drop, and I also use full moon water. So you can do, you can get some of these crystals that we've talked about, set them out under the full moon in a glass, and then use that water with maybe a couple of drops of the rose oil or the jasmine or lang lang or whatever oils that you like, maybe from your perfumes, like the perfumes that you use. Use those type of oils, because those are the ones that as you use them on your skin as well, it evokes this aromatherapy basically for you. And, we are beings of senses, and we're sensual beings. So sense of smell is really important. That if you've ever been with, you see this hot guy or whatever, and then he walks by and he's got like this horrendous perfume on, you're like, what is that? And it just then it's like, click, turn off, or vice versa. Somebody could walk by and you go, oh, my God, that smells amazing. Who is that? And so you just attracted, our baser, our elemental instincts. So you can work with elements of the flowers. So I would definitely do that. You can make a spray for your room and spray it on your sheets, and just evoke that sense of intimacy and passion.
Exactly. You can also put it in your bath water. Some of my favorite ones for love that I like, the one that I tell everybody that I always love is just a little bit of orange oil, or if you're taking a bathtub, just sprinkle a little bit a little teeny bit of cinnamon and some orange slices. Or you could do some orange oil and a little bit of cinnamon oil. You don't need much cinnamon oil because that will start to burn. You want to make sure it's done.
Oh, that's, yeah.
And that will cause, that mixture together is an old ancient Egyptian secret that people have used for years to call in love. As Marianne said, jasmine. I love jasmine. Lang Lang, I'll spell that in the chat room for those who don't know what Lang Lang is, because it's spelled differently than what it sounds. Camphor is another one. When you mix camphor with other things like lemongrass, and you have to be careful with lemongrass because too much of it will make your skin itch. But a little bit of lemongrass oil, that's another oil that I love. Lensing. It really depends on you and your sense, and go with what you like. As Marianne said, she likes more flowers. I like more fresh smells. I like smells that remind me of the ocean, that reminds me of clean. That does it for me. So go with your instincts. Go with don't go out of your comfort zone. As far as oils, you don't want to go too far out of your comfort zone as far as the smells you like, because if you're wearing the wrong smell, you don't like that smell, it's going to have a different reaction on you. It's going to bring you the wrong thing. So if you don't like the smell of roses, don't wear rose oil. But if you love the smell of roses, then go ahead and wear rose oil. Go ahead and wear that jasmine. Go ahead and wear you can also wear a little chamomile mixed with lavender. That'll bring in calming energies. So that way the person you're calling in is very calm. They're not hyper if you're a very relaxed person. There's so many different many different oils that you can use, you can play with, and as Marianne said, there's so many different ways that, you can make a mist and just, mist yourself. You can do floor washes in your home. You can, when spring cleaners about to come up, you can wash your walls with this stuff. You wash your walls so that your whole energy, just like the floors, is vibrating all through the home. You can take a bath in it. You can just have a little bit in your purse and just, also you want to spray it in your car. Spray it in your car so that everywhere you go, the energy is going with you. So, there's a couple oils. Glamour, we have a caller that I'm going to take in a few seconds. But, Glamour, do you have any oils that you suggest?
Well, for me, one of the I know that it's probably not I don't know if it's like a romantic or a soulmate smell. I like Palo Santo. I mean, to me, there's just something about it that's just really
yes, it's very cleansing.
It is, and I have it also in a smudge and a spray, like in a little spray bottle too. And I have the Palo Santo, the sticks. And there's just something about that smell that I really, really like. But I do love the idea of, we're really trying to get those endorphins going. And so that's why, scents are so great, and smelling good makes you feel good too. And, and then that kind of just ties into also just being flirty, just be like having that flirty attitude. I think it's contagious, and I think it raises your vibration, and it's fun, and, and you can flirt with everybody. I'm not just saying just with guys, just kind of get that fun, spontaneous, it's mischievous, and it's sexy and cool and fun, so, definitely just really just taking everything up that you're doing and taking it to another level. I think really kind of, with the oils and all these things, is really kind of just the setting the mood, really.
Yes, and we have Braveheart in the chat room, and he actually said, three good ones I totally forgot about. He said, what up, Braveheart? He said frankincense and Damania, which I know I'm probably jacking that name up.
Oh, yes.
And I've actually worked with, I've worked with both of them, and to me, both of that combination is great, not only for calling in, but also for just enhancing sex rituals in your sexual life. I was going to say,
Damiana is, Damiana's hot stuff. You can definitely use that, for your, when you roll your candles, like when you do your candle work, you can rub the oil on the candle that you really like, and then you can roll whatever herbs that you want to use in your spell work. And Damiana is definitely one of the top ones for, like you said, for sex spell or romantic spell or calling in, come and get me spell, like that kind of stuff.
Yes. So right now what we're going to do is, for those who are listening, 347-989-8851, we're about to get into the free reading. I'm not sure if they're going to do mini readings or they're going to do one for just one person. However they want to do it is what they're going to do. But if you want to get in on this, the chance to win a free reading, the caller number is 347-989-8851. And we do already have a caller, so I'm going to take this caller. Area code 678. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And do you have a comment or question?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Shay, and I'm calling from Georgia.
Hey, Shay. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. What's your question, Shay?
Well, I'm going to see about soulmate myself. I'm just coming out of a relationship, and not saying he wasn't my soulmate. He was probably just a soulmate for the time being. And when will the next one may arrive for me?
Well, I think one of the things that you have to understand is when we've just left a relationship, and it's kind of just take a little while to understand what it was that you were supposed to learn from that relationship. What are you taking from it? And a good way of also separating yourself from the energy of that person is to do like the Ho'oponopono prayer of forgiveness. Because, sometimes we are not realizing that we carry some things that may have been said that, in the heat of passion or in anger or in separation or in hurt. And it's always good to give yourself a little space in allowing that person to reaching that space where you wish that person well. You know that when you wish that person well, then that you have reached the space of forgiveness and allowing that person to go. And even though they may not be physically in your life, a lot of times we do carry that within us. And we have to understand what was the lesson that person brought, to me. Did they bring me a lesson about boundaries? Did they bring me a lesson of understanding what it is that I truly want? Was it something that I thought that I wanted? How did I grow within that relationship to now be the person that I am now? And what can what am I looking for now? So a good thing to do is, especially now, we're coming into full moon this week on Wednesday. It is an excellent time. It is a super new moon, meaning that the moon is close to the earth. It's also going, and Dia, you know much more astrology than I do, but it's going from Aquarius into Pisces, and almost simultaneously. And so it's double the intention. So if you write a letter or to the universe, to your higher self, to God or your angels or whoever your guides are, and say, this is the type of person that I deserve. And and you just put down all the qualities that you want in that person and all of the things that you feel that person will bring to your life. What are you going to do together? How will you live together? How will you create a family? How will you create a place together? And then keep building on that in your mind and write it down. And that will help to concrete and bring into manifestation that which you are looking for.
Wow. Okay, so what I did, I just did a quick spread, and so what I'm thinking is that, this is what happens when you get a time frame, and you have to be ready to hear it, right? And I'm thinking it's going to be about 3 years, but what it is that part of it is that there's some things that you have to work on, okay, in order to bring him in, and one of the things is that just kind of feeling like you're boxed in, and like things just haven't turned out in past relationships. Like a lot of past relationships haven't turned out the way that you wanted them to, and the reason that is because a lot of times as women we have amazing intuition, but we don't listen to it. And so one of the things that you have to do is you have to make sure that you listen to your gut instinct, okay? And I think that you're going to have a little bit of just kind of working on you and saying, you know what, I want the next person who comes in. And that doesn't mean that just because this person's not coming in for, let's say 2.5, 3 years, doesn't mean that you can't play, right? You can play, you can meet other people, and you can have fun and have fun relationships. But I feel like the kind of guy that you that you need to look out for is somebody who's a little bit of a hottie patati. Like he's a little bit. The card that I pulled is the Fire Prince, and he's a fire element, and he's somebody in this card. He's actually aiming at things with this fire, this bow and arrow fire, and he's aiming his arrows, and he's focused. So when he shoots out the arrow, it's because it's where he wants it to go, because he knows exactly what he wants, and he doesn't mamby-pamby, he doesn't skirt around things. If he wants something, he gets it, and sometimes that may get him into a little trouble because he's a little aggressive, but you know what? It's the type of guy that you need who's going to go all out and who's going to get the job done. And if he says something, he means it, and he's going to do it.
And when you said fire element, is that also pertaining to astrology, or that just how he is inside?
Well, I think for you, somebody who, is of the zodiac that are the fire elements, like I'm Sag, so, and that's the fire element. So I feel like, it would be more toward like a zodiac, but I also think that it would be somebody who would be a little bit of a fire personality, be a little bit more aggressive, be the type of guy, though, but that even though he has that kind of fiery personality, it's how he gets shit done. Like, he gets stuff done.
Okay. I also pulled a card from the Psychic Tarot of the Heart, and I got the Chariot, the 7, the move card. So I don't know if you're considering movement, either moving from your place or moving from your town, but if you're considering a move, I think that would be really beneficial, because the next card I pulled is the 20 card of the Major Arcana, which is normally the Judgment card, but in this deck it's called Blossom. So I think that the move, if you were considering a move, would help you to blossom. So if that's in the cards for you, if an opportunity comes up for some type of movement, whether it be a moving I just get the feeling it's more of a physical movement. So it could be changing apartments or changing physical location. Then I would go ahead and do that because I think it would be beneficial to you.
Well, I really can't move, honestly. I probably can move, like, travel.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean now in this
move.
instant. Well, I'm not saying that very now in this instant, but there's some type of movement that you need to do. Well, it could be like what Debbie was saying, just change it up. Change up your routine. Whatever you used to do, if you're still doing the same old that you did with your ex, then change it up and switch it up. Do something different.
And one of the things that this is good advice for everybody is that women don't make men work it. Make these people work it for you. Don't just hand everything over to someone else. Let them show you what they can bring to you. Let them show you what they can bring to the table. And we don't give them that opportunity because we just want to be in a relationship. And so we kind of jump the gun and we kind of ruin it for ourselves because we really didn't ask this person to show you like what do you got? I know what I'm bringing. I know what I'm bringing to the table. What are you bringing to the table? And we don't do that. We don't sit back and take time for things to develop and like we did back in the day. And say, let them wine and dine you. Let them kind of, put some effort into being with you. And, and I think that if people aren't willing to do that, then you just need to go to the next one. But anyway, so that's my thought. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because they were saying, I pulled a couple of cards. I pulled a couple of cards too for you, Shay. And the main two cards I got is the heart chakra and the higher heart chakra, which show, and I also got Scorpio there, which showing that there's some deep major blockages and some secrets there that when secrets mean the things you haven't told nobody that you're still holding on to that you need to cleanse from before you can go to any other relationship. One of the things is, most of the time we get a relationship, we always want to do for the other person, but in doing too much for the other person, we set the stage for how they treat us. And a lot of times we have to learn how to back off of that and do for ourselves and let the other person watch how we do for ourselves. So we set the tone for how they are supposed to treat us as opposed to just jumping in and do. So now is the time for you to relax, get back about yourself, treat yourself, take care of yourself, let other people watch that first and let them see if they're willing to even treat you the way that you treat yourself first before you even give them the time of day. That's one of the main things that's coming up. It's just in the cards that I pulled, just to confirm they're saying it came up in the same cards. So unless you have any comments or questions, we're going to get ready to shut this show down. Do you have any other comments or questions before we go ahead and wrap the show up?
Well, just a comment. Like with the, because I really don't have any secrets, honestly.
No. I don't mean secrets. I mean there's things that you have not healed from yet. I don't mean like secrets as in, that this, don't tell nobody this, don't tell nobody that. I mean, it's inside of you. You know the things that you need to heal from, and they're kind of like secrets to you because you're not really dealing with them. You need to take a little step back and just really like when things come to your mind, just ask yourself, why did I think about that? Or when you see somebody or something out and it sparks something in you and the thought comes to you, why did I go there? You have to do, it's time to do a little bit of shadow work. And that way it'll open up
that's what I was just
the parts of the chakras that's closed.
Mm-hmm. And it's usually due to crappy past relationships. And you have to clear away everything from those other relationships. And, one of the things that, like Marion was saying before is, and it's tough. It's tough to kind of forgive people who really just didn't treat us very well, and guys who weren't very good to us, and situations that weren't always the most pleasant. But you have to cut cords to those things and to those people. And sometimes we say to ourselves, "Well, I'm done with that guy." You may be done with them, but you haven't cleared all the emotional turmoil or that person put you through. And so, and then and maybe the past, the one before that as well. So you have, so it's really going within and just saying, you know what, I got to clear all this clutter out from these assholes that were in my life before, and I need to just, kind of clear that, cut that off. It's like a ball in a chain. I don't need it anymore. I want something different. I'm gonna do something different, and I'm gonna change the way that I approach my relationships.
Okay.
It's basically showing you to yourself and to others that you value yourself. Because when we as women, we tend to overgive. And when we overgive, what we're telling the other person is, you're worth more than I am. And I'm not as good as you are. And then that puts them in the control over your emotions. And you give your power away. No. And when you do that, then it is never going to be on an equal footing. And it will always be a relationship which is off balance. And therefore it will never work because of that.
Right. I definitely see what you're saying.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in. I guess she was the free reading for the night. I'm going to have to go.
Okay, thank you.
Back on hold because we're about to shut the show down. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And have a happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Valentine's Day is actually in a couple of minutes. All right. Well, we get into the end of the show. As always, the show goes so fast because it's so much fun. There's so much energy. We don't even know the time is flying. So while we are here, let's go ahead and start with our secret guest that came in for us. Love it every time you come on. Our gratitude goddess, Marianne Moore of Akashic Inspirations. Go ahead and tell people what you do and where they can find you.
Well, I do Akashic readings through Oracle cards and Tarot cards, and my website is www.akashicinspirations.com. Same name for my YouTube channel, Akashic Inspirations, and my Facebook page. Or you can find me under Marianne Moore under Facebook, and just hit me up and send me a message. I also do free daily readings on Facebook, so I know a lot of people have a lot of fun with that, and you get to choose your card and see what it reveals to you. So, but thank you so much for having me on again. I just love this time with you guys. It's so much fun, as always.
Mm-hmm.
We love having you. Go ahead and tell everybody what it is that you do and how they can get in contact with you.
Oh, okay. Well, I do readings as well. I do card readings, and actually I do, one of the things I'm featuring this month is relationship spread, the soulmate spread. Soulmate spread is all about what is my partner going to be like? When am I going to meet them? So you could go to Glammy'sAngels.com, and I'm going to be running a Valentine's Day special that it's $28 for the weekend. It will be $18.
Awesome! Wow. That's
all right. That is awesome.
Romance readings are off the chart.
Yeah, they're fun.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. They really are. Glammy's romance readings and Marianne's twin flame readings, they are off the chart. They also do a reading together with channelings that they're not promoting, but I will promote it for them because they also do spiritual channeling, and when they do their double readings, I'm trying to tell you, there's nothing like it. As for me, obviously I'm also another reader, but I'm more so focused on astrology, so I'm all about, as they're telling you how to call in your soul flame, your twin flame, your soulmate, and what they're going to be like, all my readings will deal with how to prepare yourself for that. I'm also doing astrology readings, and astrology readings will be also how to prepare yourself for love, how to understand how you work in relationships so you can know whether it's really that person or if it's just your energy. That's just something that just rubs you the wrong way. Also, I do financial readings, and I also have 3 children's books out right now on Amazon. Just getting your children into the spiritual world without necessarily tying them down to any specific path. So if you want to test out those children's books or would like to get one, go to Amazon.com and just type in the author name Oasis, ORIOASIS. Also, my website is OarisOasis.com. That's ORISOASIS.com. I don't know if they said it, but I think I missed it, so I'm going to say it for them. Glammy's website is Glammy'sAngels.com, MMIEANGELS, and then you have Akashic Inspirations, which is Marianne's website, AkashicInspirations.com. It's spelled exactly the way it sounds. She's very correct with her words. She don't do the ghetto writing or none of that. So it's spelled exactly the way it sounds. And it has been a wonderful, beautiful evening. Looks like we're going to shut down about 6 minutes early, which is totally fine with me. So everybody, thank you so much.
Yeah, because we always
Marianne,
go over, and then poor Dia gets yelled at. So yeah, it's like, okay, no, we got. But I really, honestly, I think we did an amazing job just getting in as much as we did, because I totally feel like we could have done a part 2. And one of the other things that I wanted to kind of touch on is, and maybe we could do this later on, is what the tantric sex would have with a twin flame. Oh my goodness!
Woo.
All right, anyway, we'll save that for another day.
Sacred union.
Sacred union sex, baby.
All right, we might have to work that into the next show, since the next show is all about making your own luck, and that will definitely be a lucky night. So we might have to work that into the next show. Well, all right, thank you for all y'all who are listening. Thank you for all y'all in the chat room who are supporting us. We had Baby come through. We got Braveheart. We got Maya. This is me. I don't know if she wants to say her actual name, but I know who you are. So, hi, Maya. Thank you. Thank you for stepping in the chat room. They're having a great conversations. And for those of you who don't know, Braveheart was in the chat room giving a little mini readings. So, hint, y'all can get in the chat room next time. Maybe he'll pop back in and do mini readings again. For everybody else?
I just wanted to throw in there real quick that there Lucy Cavendish, who is amazing. She does cards. She has a true love come to me spell that's really cute. If anybody wants to look that up, and it's even for the typical just regular gal. It's really simple and easy and cute. So check that out.
All right. And on that note, we're going to go out of here. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Good night.